a very strange and unusual case, but what is being proposed in this case is in relationship to there's a small fine as the the commissioners will see in relationship to that, but the biggest part is in relationship to I'm sure the commissioners are familiar with this, an individual by Mr. William Edwards. He will not be allowed to essentially participate in a functioning capacity before the commission for a 10-year period. That is really the core of the agreement between Cowboy Racing and the petitioner in this case, which would consist of the executive director and myself. And so at the end of the day, yeah, that's the core of what we're looking at, Mr. President, members of the commission. Excuse me. So it does kind of it is something different than usually that's been seen in the past. And so, but that is what we are proposing here today.
I have a quick question. So basically the settlement agreement, I saw the part about the $1,000, but Mr. Edwards will no longer be
different than usually. I apologize that that question got cut out.
Okay, my question is, I understand the part about the $1,000, but would you reiterate the part about Mr. Edwards not being able to act?
Yeah, so if you look at it, and I'm looking for the specific provision would be section 6 on the limitation is control. Mr. Edwards is currently the principal of Cowboy Racing, but he's agreeing that as individually and through any entity, directly or indirectly, he's not going to exercise control over the operations or management of any entity that holds a pari-mutuel permit or license issued by the commission. So it is an issue of exercising control over the operations or management. There is a slight provision in there in relationship to the fact that he will be receiving profits with the Bally's at closing. But again, this is more of an issue in relationship to control, and that's the agreement that and I hope I'm answering this very directly. That's what it is, that he will not be exercising control over the operations or management, either individually or through any entity which he owns an interest in. And so, yes, that would be fair.
Okay.
Described it.
And a little bit further clarification, that would be upon sale to Bally's. Is that correct?
That would be correct, Mr. President, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. President.
Mr. Broussard.
So am I to understand he won't be eligible for a license? Is that?
That's the position that I look at and take a view.
So following on that, does that mean he doesn't have access to certain areas of the racetrack?
I think that, that certainly, if there's not operation control and he doesn't have a license either individually and he cannot exercise operation or control, I would say that would be true. I think that would be accurate, but I would also leave that to clarification or hopefully Mr. Executive Director Laramendi would agree with that, but that would be my assumption or my belief, not assumption. But yes, if he is not exercising operation or management control and he is also not licensed or permitted, then I do believe that would be a fair assessment. So thank you.
Thank you.
President Cavello, if I can clarify that just a little bit.
Please do.
So that wouldn't have any effect on construction or anything like that, though. He obviously would be allowed on grounds for construction and all that other stuff. It would be during the event taking place that he wouldn't hold the necessary license to be on the backside.
Okay. Thank you.
President Cavello, just so you're aware, we have Miss Jody Shea and Miss Leah Thompson, and I believe Will Edwards is with one of them. They're on the line here as well.
Okay, very good. Thank you. And welcome to those folks. So obviously there's an awful lot of information for you all to digest. If you have any more questions, comments, something you don't understand, now's the time. Obviously, we were not able to discuss any of this in advance, any ex parte communications. So a whole lot of information for us to digest and be able to act upon today.
And Mr. President, I am happy to answer any questions that I can. You know, there, as the agreement is in there, that's those are the core of the agreement. There's a lot of additional what I would call traditional contract language and things of that nature. But really, the core of it is what I've outlined to you in relationship to Mr. Edwards and then the fine. That's what I would say is the core or the center of the agreement.